context now in a way that's never been true before. We are saturated by the extraordinary. If you have a cell phone, you can just, get it out of your pocket like I did when I was preparing the sermon and say, if you have a phone that lets you talk to it, push the button and say, Siri, show me extraordinary YouTube videos. And up pops all kind of stuff on your smartphone or computer. And on my smartphone, the first thing that popped up was a story told by the actor Telly Savalas. You guys remember?
Yeah.
Kojak, kind of big, popular, that sort of close-cut haircut. And he described a night when a man who was deceased played Good Samaritan to him when he got stranded on a deserted road. Now, he didn't know this man was no longer living at the time, but that was his extraordinary experience that he shared. And with social media in hand, as I say, you can literally, at the click of a button, see an extraordinary experience of some sort. Can you think of one that you've watched recently? It's just, there's so many going around, like, I don't know, I was thinking of a boa riding a skateboard or something like that. I'm not sure I saw that one. But there's all kinds of things you can see on your devices these days. And I was thinking about the story of Mary and Elizabeth today blowing up on social media, right? OMG, ancient mom, virgin kid, angel declares offspring will change everything. Take cover. It gets under 140 characters. And maybe subsequently Mary, who went from 0 to hundreds of thousands of Twitter followers overnight. OMG! Gotta see my cousin, but the donkey ride is killing me. I weigh like a ton. And Joseph is way too quiet. Why me? The extraordinary is quite compelling. Recently I watched a documentary of an amazing story. It just struck me so powerfully, and it begins with this rascally woman in her early 20s talking into a camera that's on her desk and saying, I'm going to tell you something that has happened to me in the last 2 days. Samantha, was adopted as an infant from Korea and lived lively and with, by her description, a very integrated life with her adopted family that had 2 sons that were biological offspring of the parents. And they had a very integrated, just wonderful home life. Images of this extroverted and just crazy fun kid were flashed on the screen that really kind of demonstrated that reality. The story Sam tells begins with a random video that made it onto YouTube, speaking of YouTube, and it gained a fair amount of views. And there was one young man who saw this video and he was just stunned. That teenager that he was watching on the video looked exactly like his good friend. But he knew for sure it wasn't her. Because the person that he was watching on YouTube lived way across an ocean somewhere. The wonders of internet allow this most extraordinary story to unfold. And the forethought of this woman, Sam, who is obviously theatrically oriented, her forethought when she started, recording this whole experience from the get-go, right? So this whole experience, from the inception, gives the audience sort of a front row seat as the identical Korean-born twins who were separated at birth discovered and embraced their connection. Korean-born twins separated at birth. Both born in Korea by a mother who wanted a life for them that was beyond what she could provide in her circumstances. They were given to separate adoption agencies, not told of the twin relationship. They were given to separate adopted mothers who also didn't know of the twin relationship. And someone along the line decided that this should just be part of the secret that was being kept of the relationship of these girls. And so, Sam got adopted by a loving family in LA. Amelia got adopted by a French couple and brought up in this rich educational and culturally opportunistic environment. She had all kinds of things she could do. It's an extraordinary story. And I highly recommend it. And I think it's called, the documentary is called The Twinsters. Did I get that right? Anybody's seen it? Twinsters, I think it is. You can see it on Netflix. Yet, as I watch this extraordinary story, and all the amazing, unlikely coming together, what captured my attention, what had a piercing sense of power, was not the astonishing odds that were exceeded and allowed the twins to find each other. The piercing power of that story was the pure and intimate experience of connection. At first, these beautiful, lively women, one graduating from design school in London, the other a semi-successful Reed waitress, actress in LA, they meet in London. And they stand across the room when they first see each other. And it's quite something to watch, because really this is the first time they see each other. And the first time since birth, anyway. And they kind of just look at each other for a while. One's kind of like hiding behind the couch, and then one goes up to the other and goes, just gives her a little soft, loving poke. As they're finding each other again for the first time. There's much giggling. They check each other out as this surreal and briefly awkward encounter melts into this intimate physical and spiritual connection between these